guys, welcome back to my channel, Weekend Empath. Today I want to talk to you about self-doubt. First of all, I just want to say that I had the greatest experience posting my first video last week. Not for anything, but just the fact that I got it done, that I've been wanting to get it done forever, and that I felt like I was co-creating with the universe. It was an awesome feeling, and it gave me that dopamine rush. It made me feel that sense of accomplishment, and it made me feel a part of something bigger. And I went to bed with this awesome feeling of elation. I was so proud of myself. Not that it was even that great, but that I just did it after wanting to been doing it for so long, for a year and a half. So proud that I did it. So I went to bed feeling awesome, and then 3 o'clock in the morning the next morning, I wake up with like this feeling of intense self-doubt. And I mean, it was all kinds of things, you know, just me over criticizing my video, me questioning my worth, me questioning why I would want to put myself out there like this, me questioning all kinds of things, just doubt. And I had plans to make another video on a different subject matter, and basically at that time the universe was saying, no, you need to make a video about this, what you're feeling right now, because so many people feel this feeling all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to question you, universe. It's a great idea. Put that video to the side. We can do that another time. Let's make a video about self-doubt. So, yeah, it was just, it was hard a little bit, you know, after having that great sense of elation to wake up in the morning and have all this like negative feelings coming up. And I was like, okay, well, why is this happening? You know, you know, all of us are plagued with this self-doubt, this nagging negative self-talk that our minds engage in constantly. I don't know anybody that doesn't suffer from it. So it's, you know, basically ingrained in our human nature. But it's also ingrained in our ego. And the ego has a lot to gain from self-doubt. When we doubt ourselves like that, the ego is in, it thrives, because we're giving 100% of ourselves to our ego. When we're living in a low vibration state, we're giving ourselves 100% to our ego. We're not connected to the universe. We're not connected to our higher selves. So the ego works to keep you blocked from your higher self. The ego works to keep you devoted to it 100%. And one of the ways it does that is by this constant repetition of self-doubt in your mind. When you raise your vibration, you get less devoted to the ego and more devoted to your higher self and communicating with the universe and co-creating with the universe. And that's the real reality and experience that we're supposed to have here. Fighting through that sense of individualism where we are all separate, and realizing that we are all part of, you know, this one great big divine energy. And nobody really benefits from that negative self-talk pattern that, you know, we all go through. So one of the keys to overcoming the sense of self-doubt is to have healthy coping strategies. First, you have to stop that negative self-talk reel that is running over and over and over in your head. I I found a very physical, real way to change the negative self-talk pattern in your head. And I learned this from the author Paulo Coelho. I read it in one of his books. I don't know which one of his books because I've read almost all of them. He is my favorite author. I was introduced to his first book, The Alchemist, when I was 21, and it's been a guide to my life and was one of my first introductions to spirituality. Not religion, but spirituality. A sense of spirituality. Anyways, so Paulo Coelho has this technique where anytime his brain tells him something that is negative, that he doesn't want repeated, he takes his forefinger and plants it in the cuticle of his thumb and creates, like, pushes down hard with your nail, and it creates pain. And basically it creates a negative association with that thought, and it decreases over time. And I'll tell you 100% that this works, because I used to have a crazy thought that would always go through my head in times of struggle and just regular day-to-day basis, that I wanted to die. My mind would literally tell me 10, 20, 30, 50 times a day, I just want to die. It would repeat that to me. And I mean, how is a person supposed to feel good when something like that is going through their mind? So, I mean, I suffered with that for years and years and years. I have, family history with depression and suicide and all kinds of stuff like that. So, that's been part of my cross to bear. But I did that technique, and that thought has gone away from my thought process almost completely. I had it reappear maybe like 4 or 5 months ago when I was going through something challenging, and I nipped it in the bud right away. And you can literally do that with any negative thing that you have been telling yourself over and over again. This really works, and this is a physical technique that really, really works. So I highly recommend you try that. If you have anything going on in your head that tells you you're stupid, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, why are you here, anything like that, stop that negative reel in your head immediately, and this is one good way. Another good way that I wrote down was, of course, to gain control of your thoughts through meditation or prayer, depending on, how you feel spiritually. I meditate and I pray. I pray to divine creator, source energy, the universe, our oneness for strength. I pray to the angels. I also meditate and try to bring through my higher self to uplift me and reconnect me with the source energy that we come from, that's like a very positive, balancing, grounding energy that lets you know, we're all going through the same things here. This is Earth School. This is where our souls came to grow, and it's not easy. But as long as we remain connected to source energy, we will not only survive, but thrive if you take it to a certain level. So, I did want to mention that it's important to have positive coping skills also. In those times where you're finding yourself challenged, it's really important to have a strong sense of where to go when something goes wrong. Negative coping skills like drugs, alcohol, overeating, binging on brainless, mindless television. Those are all things that we want to go to right away, and I did do that for years and years and years. But honestly, if you guys think about that, it never makes you feel better. It usually makes the situation worse, and it raises your depression level. So, on top of stopping that negative self reel in the negative talk reel that goes in your head, and meditating, praying, maintaining your spiritual connection, doing just things like being out in nature, exercising, getting those endorphins up, creating, doing an art project or something around the house, doing something that will raise those dopamine levels instead of making you feel sad and sick and unhealthy the way other coping mechanisms can make you feel. Yoga also is so good for reconnecting with your higher self, source energy, breath work. I don't know a lot about breath work from personal experience, but I have heard a ton about it from many people, and I do breath work during yoga, and I know that is grounding. So that's another thing. And one last thing that I would personally like to include about keeping yourself grounded and healthy and away from the self-doubt and the negative self-talk is forgiveness. And I know it seems like a little off the subject, but it's really not off the subject, it's on the subject, because once I learned how to truly forgive, I started to experience a complete sense of strength and well-being in my day-to-day life. Like, I used to walk around heavy-hearted and depressed and so miserable and purposeless. And after many things, my spiritual awakening, but after I learned how to forgive, I seriously have this weight lifted off my heart, a sense of well-being, a sense of trust in the universe, a sense of knowing that no matter what, everything is going to be okay. The stress and anxiety I used to feel on a day-to-day basis has been relieved so much. I still feel stress. I still feel worries, but I would say 85% less than I used to, which has been such a great gift. So I do plan on making another video about forgiveness and how I learned to forgive and ways that you can embody that in your life as well. But that's going to be for another video. So that's my message for today, you guys. I have totally been divinely guided to bring you this information. I appreciate your time, and I'm not claiming to be some spiritual guru or coach even at this point. I mean, maybe sometime in the future that would be awesome, but what I'm trying to do right now is show you guys that I'm going through it too. I've been going through my awakening for 4 years. I've been learning so much. My life has changed so much, and I'm looking for my tribe. I don't know a lot of people out there that are going through their awakening or have awakened. And YouTube has been pretty much the only avenue that I've been able to find like-minded people except for a few people here and there that I come across. But I'm looking for my tribe. I want to just talk to you, reach out to you guys. Please feel free to comment on my video and like, share, and subscribe. I look forward to talking to you all, and I hope you guys have a great night. Love and light. Thank you.